study to be taken to classes and tell students
Falguni, let me tell you, one should not exaggerate either ends of the spectrum. Suppose I say, what you're saying is everyone can't be Sachin Tendulkar or have the focus of a Sachin Tendulkar. I am saying everyone should not be a Vinod Kambli either. A classic example of lack of hard work, dedication, tenacity and effort, right? And too much of a life and less of a work balance can destroy the greatest of talent. Now, how's that? It's the reality.
We are only talking about the Sunday feature here.
No, Sunday. Listen. No.
First, I agree with you.
Does LNT work on Sunday? Does LNT work on Sunday?
No.
I want to ask Dr. LRK Krishnan, who has had a stint with L&T HR in the past. He's a consultant and professor of practice. He's a visiting professor at IIM. He knows the L&T structures. Will L&T work on Sundays, or has this case been made a caricature to try and caricaturize the MD?
Thanks, Arnab. Good evening, fellow panelists. See, very importantly, the current world of work evolves around employee experience. Today, are we measuring effort or outcomes, business outcomes? So, discretionary effort, organizations which create an environment for youngsters who don't want to be confined to boundaries and constraints, give beyond what is expected. So, therefore, it is a joke that in L&T, if you are saying the Atmanirbhar Bharat, Vikasit Bharat, if all these airports, these highways, dams, and these buildings are being built without employees spending 24/7, they're there in these containers. They live their lives there. They work hard. So working hard is in our DNA, the Indian DNA. Now it comes to the young, smart working, the younger generation, the modern ways of work. Today we need to empower them. Today's workforce cannot be constrained with the thought process of Mr. Narayan Murthy, who I respect most. And here in this case, SNS has been mischievous and must have been very, passing a remark. Otherwise, L&T, Tata projects, they work in EPC projects, long hours of work. They don't see their families for months, sometimes years, these football stadiums and so on and so forth. So therefore, in the context of our discussion, it's end of the day, we are measuring business outcomes, the contribution of the youngsters. And they do not want to work in stereotype patterns. That is why today gig working, remote working, hybrid working, all of this today is replacing fixed working hours. Why are we assuming that our Indian workforce is not working hard? We are working hard. Look at our IT exports. IT exports is a good example. Look at every aspect of, our GDP. We are doing extremely well. We are progressing. So we need to kind of create an environment and ecosystem where today the roads that are built by L&T, the bridges, the metro, it takes 3 hours for employees in Bangalore to go to Electronic City Infosys. So 3 hours into 5 is 15 hours, 25 hours they take in a week. It's consumed in just travel. It is during and in the course of employment. So the amount of time lost getting to work and working on an average 50 to 60 hours, and they take back work home over weekends.
No, LRK, I think what's happening here...
What is your logic? I have not understood what you're saying.
I am saying we have to measure outcomes. Let us not get
that
into
everyone knows. We are all target driven.
Exactly.
We
all
are telling us something that we don't know.
We are all aligning with the same thought process that...
1 minute, with due respect, you say that a Bangalore gentleman lady take 15 hours a week to travel, correct?
Yes.
Plus, you want to lay over another 90 hours a week.
No.
You want people to work for 105 hours and then you say they're taking work back. So, my advice is, don't follow the Arnab principle on this debate. Tell us where you stand. Because you're supporting the young who want their life. You're also supporting the old. You're supporting SNS. You're supporting Narayan Murthy. Tell us where you stand so that we know how to counter your logic.
Perfectly. What I'm saying, Suhail, here is that let us not put constraints and boundaries. Let us measure outcomes. Employee outcomes, discretionary effort. Let us measure discretionary effort of employees.
How much they need to work.
Okay, I'll tell you one thing.
They deliver the results.
Okay, can I come in on this?
Yes.